And they're there. There's 3 or 4 main suggestions. In England, for example, in the construction industry, the government and the developer will give 30% of the price of that house, which has been reduced. Which means the fellow is only borrowing 70%, he gets the loan. He has that 30% for 5 years interest-free. If his equity is picked up in the house, he can pay it back. If not, he can go another 5 years. Okay? Now that's going to stimulate, in selected areas in England, that's stimulating the whole business. We've done nothing.
Yeah, why do you think that is, this paralysis? I mean, I'm told that they're firefighting every day. You know, they're waiting for the latest exchequer returns and so on, and that leads to sort of let's plug this hole first, and then we'll have to plug this hole, and then that hole.
But we haven't plugged any holes. We could have anticipated the exchequer. Pat, the motor industry, just from VRT alone on new cars in 2007, gave them 2 billion. This year they get $500 million out of it. It doesn't take a forecaster to know that. I can tell them that. Guess what? Just figure out what the cars are going. You're not going to get the money from that. And the billion that went out of the industry because of what the Green Party did, and then they started saying, well, we can't pay the 10 million for the kids' injections, and they're not going to give the poor old 70-year-olds their card, their medical card, and this, that and the other. It could have been all taken care of. So they have to start looking at it and being proactive, anticipating what's happening and going and doing something.
The bill we're seeing now, and the bill in The Apprentice, and the bill you see at home, are they all the same bill?
He's a lot worse than that, I can tell you. There's obviously the business bill, which is what you see in The Apprentice, and then there's a completely different bill, if you like, the penny Athens bill.
Because he can be, you know, quite gentle and kind and nice and all that, but in The Apprentice...
But not a lot.
Business is business, Pat, and I work very, very hard. I get up very early in the morning, as you know. I'll work a 20-hour day, and I kind of demand people to come with me. Anyone coming into our office at 8 o'clock, we say good afternoon to them. You know, that's the way it is. You know, we have 2 or 3 hours done at that stage. My girl is in at 5 o'clock.
Now, if The Apprentice comes back, will there be a job for the winning apprentice? That's the question.
Yeah, we'll have a job for him.
A big job. Good, well paid.
And if you look, well paid. If you look at Brenda, I mean, she's doing a super job. Great person. Won 9 of the 10 tasks. Has great people skills. Innovative. Works 7 days a week. Doesn't matter. What do you want them to do?
She doesn't ever talk about time, does she?
Never talks about time. But takes responsibility. I go a project with her. Here's what we need to do, and you go do it. She doesn't quack saying, that didn't work, what will I do? It's done.
It's done.
And she makes her decisions, and it's terrific.
Is that not an innate talent? It's not something you can learn. That's something you are born.
You learn that, and that's what
you can learn it, can you?
Yes, yes.
The original apprentice, Brian Purcell, is in the audience. He helps out on the whole thing. Brian, I mean,
Pat, he's an absolute tyrant. We used to have Monday morning management meetings, and we'd all be trembling going in, and he'd go at us hammer and tongs, and like, when we get to the boardroom seat of The Apprentice, I'd say, Bill, Monday morning, come on, toughen it up a bit. Because he'd have these smiling, laughing eyes, you know. And when you just say, Monday morning, right, okay, let's do it, come on, I'm going to kill him, you know. And, but, you know, he was great to work with. And
but have you learned a lot from Bill?
Oh, absolutely. And I stayed with Bill for about 4 years, and then went off with another couple of lads, and we're stuck in another business now. So he was a credit to be with. And even Jackie, you learn so much off them. And anyone that ever gets the chance, you know, they should try and get a mentor somewhere. Even if it's a kid from a secondary school, should go to the local shopkeeper and try and get a job there and learn from them, you know.
All right. If there was something that either of you could offer Brian Cowan and Brian Lennon and the rest of them tomorrow morning to do that might put some life back into this economy, what would that be?
Well, I'd say take what I've just talked about, the property business.
Okay, steal an idea if it's working.
Yeah, that's number one. Number two, we know the Tidy Towns competition. Why can't we have a tidy county? Okay, there's 26 counties. Get 1,000 men off the construction industry who are on the dole and put them out there and clean the whole place up and help tourism. Might take 6 months, might take 12 months, but there's work with good project managers that could lead that. Sure. What about all these porta cabins in the schools? And I do a lot of school seminars, Pat, and I'm out there in these porta cabins. Take them down and build new schools. That's an investment for the future, and it's keeping those fellas off the dole, in a job, paying tax, and looking at the difference.
You have to look at each industry separately and try and do something to stimulate those industries. Construction industry, yeah, we talked about that, about doing something about the stamp duty. Tourism business, yes, we've talked about that. The country is full of weeds, Pat, do you know that? All the roads are full of weeds, and I'm just wondering why, if there's so many people on the dole.
All right, so instead of a blunderbuss, you use a scalpel.
And it's not a lowly job to go and you know, pick weeds out. It isn't. You know, I do it myself. You feel like getting out of the car and doing it yourself. It only takes about half an hour to do, you know, one patch on the side of a road.
By the way,
everybody did
is the helicopter in the air or is it in mothballs?
Well, you see, Pat, when I was in the distributor, I had 40 customers all around the county, all around the country, and I could do 5 of them on one day instead of driving. But now there are only 5 dealerships, it's easier without it.
Yeah. So I don't think it's appropriate to be flying a helicopter in this day and age, to be honest, when people have lost their jobs and literally flying in people's faces. I really don't think it's appropriate.
All right. Well, Paddy, we're doing the Apprentice again. We have Meteor sponsoring it, who is the mobile phone company, and it's going to be so different because the punters will be able to see on their mobile phone the clips that we didn't use in the series, plus lots of other things. So we're really looking forward to that.
We've extended till tonight, 12 o'clock.
I see 12 o'clock there now.
12 o'clock tonight.
Hair. You'll be sending your CV. I want people with experience, and you look like a warrior too, right? With the Leo Rody. Okay? That's what I'm looking for.
Jackie and Bill, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, I want to tell you about